in the way that will create a good sacred space for us, especially if you are just joining. Give me just a second. Awesome, awesome. Good to see you all. All right. Welcome and thank you so much for being here. My name is Alanna Kaivalya. I am the founder of thesatisfiedwoman.com and the author of The Way of the Satisfied Woman. And I am welcoming you into my Rooted membership. We are kicking this off in the best way possible. This is a sacred and special space for women to simply be who they are and to understand that they are no longer alone in this world. I know that that can be a challenge. Women are often trying to make it on their own, do everything for everyone else and for themselves at the same time. We're trained to compete with one another. But in this space, in this membership that I've created that's centered around all the work that I do, it's a place for you and I to connect, not just you and me, but for you to connect with the other women in this space, to recognize that there are so many women who are going through the same challenges that you are. It's a place for us to talk about it, and it's a place for us to find clearer pathways to satisfaction. So before I get into exactly what we do inside the Rooted membership, I want to give us a moment to just center and breathe with one another. This is something that women have been doing since the dawn of time, coming together in community, supporting one another, and really feeling and appreciating each other's support, their energy, their camaraderie, their communion. So, wherever you happen to be, take a moment, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And even though we may be coming together online, there is still an energetic resonance behind what we do and how we are together today. There is a presence, a force that reaches beyond us and connects us to all the women here, as well as all the women throughout time. Because we look to connect with one another, not just in this present moment, in this present space, but we are looking to draw from the wisdom of women who have come before us, those who have struggled harder, those who have fought more, those who have passed down those lessons through what we now experience as intuition. And through that feminine intuition, the voices of our foremothers, we are being asked to rise up into our greatest feminine potential right now. We are being asked to stop overgiving, stop performing when it's not necessary, stop accommodating the bad behavior of others. We're being asked to stop playing small, diminishing ourselves when it makes others feel uncomfortable. Dismissing our own needs in favor of the needs of others. So if you feel the weight of any of that, you can simply shake your hands like you're releasing that energy. You're releasing those expectations. You're releasing those former, past, outdated ideas. And take another deep breath in and place one of your hands on your body where it feels most resonant for you. It might be the heart, it might be the lower belly, it might just be leaving your hands on your lap. And now with each breath that you draw in, let's draw in the powerful qualities of the feminine that are our birthright. Starting with our feminine intuition, something that is locked in and present for us at birth, but that we tend to ignore. Draw in the power of emotional depth and connection, even when it's inconvenient or challenging for others. Draw in your feminine power of receptivity, taking in and accepting the energy, the support, the presence, the generosity of others, as opposed to overgiving, chasing, and doing it all yourself. Draw in that powerful feminine quality of creativity. It's not performance, it's not to please others. Creativity is self generative for the feminine woman and allows us to bring our gifts to the world. With your breath, draw in pleasure, joy, wildness, freedom, truth seeking. Draw in anything else that you feel affirms you as a modern feminine woman. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And know that if you are here, you are in a safe space that is absolutely designed to affirm everything that you know, love, and believe about yourself as a woman. This is not the place to diminish yourself. This is not the place to over explain. This is the place to shine, to ask the questions that have always been plaguing you around what it means to be a woman in the world. So, one of the biggest reasons that I created Rooted is because I wanted to give women this space because I know that they don't exist. I've been in this world doing this work for a long time. I know that there are really organized men's groups on this level. In fact, the men are very well organized. They've been doing incredible work for years, decades even. But when it comes to women finding their place in the world, when it comes to us really figuring out how to be our most powerful selves, what's interesting is we're often asked to do it alone. We're often asked to do it out of shame, and we're often asked to do it in secret. And when you search women becoming or women's empowerment, what you get are books and spaces on self help, where they're not necessarily specifically for women, and they're still designed to try and keep us from being crazy, meaning diminishing our emotional depth and our intuition. It's really our emotional depth and our intuition that creates our greatest power as feminine women in the world. And emotional depth and intuition are just as valid as rational thinking and logic. So here in Rooted, you are allowed to be exactly as you are, and you're allowed to be that with other women. Because the other thing that is absolutely known throughout the culture is that when women come together, that kind of power cannot be stopped. Now, we've seen movements of women throughout history, not enough of them, but I think of the suffragette movement of the early 20th century. And I was grateful to participate in the Me Too movement as it was started really in 2017 in New York City. In my lifetime, those are the only that one is the only movement that I was ever really a part of that I ever really remember being solely and specifically about women and for women. No matter their background, no matter what they were fighting for or walking for, they were walking together as women to bring our values and ideals forward. And maybe we differ a little bit on what those are, but we're here to talk about it. We're here to honor the ability for a woman to choose whatever is right for her. And that was a significant moment in time for me. Maybe it was for you too. I mean, I was lucky to be in New York City where there were millions of women marching, and to feel the power of femininity was incredible. Now, the other thing that I do here in this membership space is I make it specifically for and about the feminine woman. Not that that's not to not affirm every other person out there, of course. Just because I'm for something doesn't mean I'm against anything else. I'm not. But I know what happens when women have sacredly held spaces just for them. It gives us permission to just be ourselves. It gives us permission to relax. And that's something that I know that I've craved throughout my lifetime, and I believe that you do too. And I know that when other members of society enter into these women only spaces, it will change the dynamic. I know that if there is even one man in the room, it will change the dynamic. So I don't want that dynamic to change, at least for us, especially while we're shedding some of the things we no longer need to carry that were never ours, and especially while we start to walk the path of satisfaction and train ourselves to stop over giving and get into a place of receptivity. I want us to just have this space for us. This is not performative. It's a homecoming. It's a place where we can just be ourselves. Women are exhausted, right? I have the great privilege and pleasure of speaking to women all week long in my discovery calls as part of my coaching work, and all the work that I do. This is where I'm centered, and so I'm listening. And when I speak to women, they're exhausted. They're tired of overgiving, they're tired of overdoing, and they need a kind of private and sacred space, which is exactly why I created this rooted membership just for us. Now, it's not another space to overwhelm you, okay? It's a daily rhythm, not a to-do list. It's just a place to check in, a place for integration, not a place of pressure. I know that you have plenty of pressure already in your lives. There is a soft structure here that's designed to help you regulate your nervous system and train yourself to receive, to accept the generosity and support of those around you. Because if you do that, if you create a sacred place to receive in yourself, then the universe, the world, your people, your partners, they do rush in. If you continue to overgive and do and chase, there is no space for them to rush in. Okay. So this is a place for you to practice, not out of pressure, not out of expectation, but out of integration. And even if for 5 minutes a day you come into the rooted membership, you see what's waiting for you there, you open to it, you give yourself the permission to release, that's going to start to retrain your nervous system to rewire itself more into your femininity. Because as a modern woman, I know, I get it. Being out in the world, it's a very masculine world. It's a world that honors and values masculine energy far more than it does anything else. So we often have to armor up for that. There are situations and places and relationships where the only way to get by is to put on that masculine armor. I understand. Let's try to do it less. Here's a place where you can do it less. This is an alternative, a feminine alternative to the masculine hustle of success, of overachievement, of performance indicators, of all the expectations that it is to be a woman in this world, of shedding some of those expectations, but also some of the narratives that this culture has saddled us with that, frankly, are wildly unfair. So, what you can expect in the Rooted membership are daily touchstones. All right. And so I do this 5 days a week. They're based off of the work of my book, and they're meant to bring to life in a really easy and accessible way an opportunity for you to start to integrate these values of a satisfied woman into your week. Now, I want to start with Sunday. So every Sunday there's a touchstone around Say No Sunday. Because the most powerful phrase of the feminine is not yes. We've been tricked into thinking that it was yes. Yes, I'll do this for you. Yes, I'll accommodate for you. Yes, I'll do more. Yes, I'll continue to give. Yes, I'll be available for you. Because we've been tricked to think that the more we overgive, that provides us safety in belonging. And that if we don't overgive, we'll be discarded. Unfortunately, that's just not true. That's a way to keep us exhausted, overwhelmed, and burnt out. And if we are exhausted, overwhelmed, and burnt out, we are so much easier to control, manipulate, to continue to use. I'm not into it. The phrase of the feminine is not actually yes. The phrase of the feminine is no. And there is great power in our no. That is where we establish and hold our boundaries. And that is where we keep the shape of our receptive container to allow other people to rise up for us, support us, and be generous with us. So what's your sacred no every Sunday? What are you saying no to so that you can say yes to yourself? so that you can say yes to the things that really honor your energy and who you are. All right, so Say No Sunday. We'll check in every Sunday about that. Next, we have Tuesday, which is Taco Tuesday. And yes, I mean that other taco, your sacred portal, your pussy, the place within you that makes you wholly feminine, where you feel that sense of pleasure, joy, and satisfaction. That place that is not for the pleasure of others, but for your pleasure. And it is not just sexual pleasure that gets your juices flowing and makes you tap into that holy resource of feminine energy. It can be creativity. It can be being joyful in the world. It can be connection to others. It can be viewing art, being still, taking a bath, whatever it is that makes you feel most alive. And ladies, when you know it, you actually do feel it in your pussy. And again, it doesn't have to be solely sexual pleasure. It can be. I love that for us too. But I want us to honor Taco Tuesday every Tuesday so that we reconnect to our pleasure centers because femininity experiences life through pleasure. That's how her life force activates within her. You can feel it in all of the atoms of your body when you're feeling a sense of pleasure. When we feel pleasure as women, it echoes out to those around us. It enlivens and enriches those around us. So when we tend to our pleasure, at least every Taco Tuesday, if not more, we're doing work in the world that allows us to receive pleasure more regularly and offers pleasure to others. Next, we have Women's Wednesday. This is a day to check in and celebrate the women in our life who have given us a bit of a roadmap on how to achieve a satisfied life on our own. They can be women that we're in touch with right now, women historically, women that we'd like to know. But every Wednesday, I want you to call out a woman who's made your path a little more satisfied. Then we have Fuck It Friday. Because I am a little irreverent and this is a slightly irreverent space, and I want us to let loose, have fun, be at ease with one another. And every Friday, I want us to just throw caution to the wind and say, fuck it. Fuck it, I'm going to try this new thing. Fuck it, I'm not going to go to that meeting. Fuck it, I'm going to say that I do want to spend a little extra money on something that brings me joy. Just fuck it. Stop heeding all of the constraints of this life. Women are wild. We are meant to be wild and unburdened. We're meant to be unpredictable. So let's lean into that energy on Fuck It Friday and let's celebrate whatever it is you're saying fuck it to. Now, Saturday is Satisfied Saturday. Of course it is. So every Saturday, I want to check in and see what's making you most satisfied. What is it that you're doing that's bringing you that feeling of pleasure through the fulfillment of your wishes and dreams? So those are our weekly touchstones. And I want to hear from you on those. And if you're struggling with one of them, let's talk about it. And of course, in a membership like this, there's another place for us to talk. Just like we're doing now, we're going to have rooted radio shows twice a month. So bi-monthly, I'm going to show up just like I am here with you right now in this space where I can answer your questions, do some coaching. Coaching is one of the biggest things that I do. We can talk about what you're struggling with, what you're satisfied by. I'll drop a little more information based on what it means to be a satisfied woman, how to walk the satisfied path. I'll bring to life the things that I'm hearing from women that week, what they're struggling with, what we talked through, because women thrive in communication and connection. And if we don't have a place to commune, we're not doing it right. So again, a safe space through Rooted Radio to offer some more instruction and live Q&As. I'll also be doing workshops once a month where I'll talk about a topic. You'll get free access to that. I'll be checking in on the community. There'll be super special members only offers in the membership because ladies love a good deal. I know they do. So there'll always be those bi-monthly Rooted Radios, which is a Q&A, kind of a coaching space, a hot seat space, workshops every month on a specific topic. And the first thing I want you to do here inside the membership, inside Rooted, is to introduce yourself. Right? This is a place for us to be friendly with one another, to reach out to one another, to connect. So tell us why you're here. What brought you into the Satisfied Woman world? Did you pick up the book? Did you listen to a podcast? Did you stumble upon it somehow? Did you know me from my past life? I don't know. Let me know why you're here, what brought you here, and what do you want to get out of this space? Where in your life are you the least satisfied, and where would you like to be the most satisfied? What lights you up? This is the conversation that needs to happen for women. And I know that women have been doing work for a long time, but not enough together. And that's what this is for, to shed the shackles of isolation that have been placed on us and to really understand that there is greater power when we do this together. So I've done my best to create this safe space for us to be here together. I'm so excited that you're here or that you're thinking of joining. And you know now how to connect with one another and me. This is your first stop. This is your first stop in becoming the satisfied woman. So if you do nothing else, participate here. And because this membership is growing, as we grow, I want to hear more about exactly what I can do for you and with you in this space. What else can I offer? What else are you struggling with? Let this space grow as you grow. Evolve as we evolve. Because as you begin this with me, as you walk this journey with me, we are going to make an even more sacred membership space for all the women who come after us. And isn't that what it's for? Did you know, fun fact, that humans are one of only 3 animals on the planet that experience menopause? And that there is only one reason to keep female mammals alive beyond their childbearing years? Because there is something even more sacred about a woman than just her ability to have a baby. There is something more sacred that evolution likes even more than her ability to procreate. It's her wisdom. It's her ability to share. She holds the sacred wisdom of the entire body of humans. The wisdom is the woman's. It's for ours to share. It's for us to share. It's for us to hold. It's for us to disseminate. It's for us to keep the moral fiber of the community that we're living in. It's to provide a true north for all humans, young humans, male humans, any humans out there. They're going to be looking to us. Let's cultivate it here. Let's share the wisdom with one another so that we can more strongly share it with those around us, whether we're in menopause or not. That doesn't It doesn't stop us from sharing what we know. So let's share it with each other. I'm so grateful that you're here. Make sure that you introduce yourself. Make sure that you ask questions. Make sure that you are present for our Rooted Radio live Q&As. Or if you can't be, remember this is a pressure-less space. Make sure you watch the replays. There is so much value here in being here with us in this membership. And it's my pleasure and honor to guide you in this process.